episode 39 of the Fit Pro podcast.
I will not put any content out there unless I'm feeling like it's genuine and coming from me, because I think you can tell.
Welcome back, listeners. Before we get into today's episode, this is part 2 of episode 37. So Kelly Yu's second part of her interview, which was an amazing success. The first part of the interview did really well. Everybody responded really well to it. So this is part 2. Now, if you are a podcast listener and you haven't changed up how you listen to podcasts, there's a few different ways, and I'll leave links in the description below. If you've got an Apple device, all podcasts are the podcast app is automatically installed from factory. All you need to do is subscribe to your favorite podcast, aka the Fit Pro podcast, and you get it all for free. You can download every single episode. You can set it to automatically download episodes when they become live, and that's obviously great convenience. I'm an Android addict, so I use Podcast and Radio Addict. It's a free app for the Android device. Exactly the same procedure. Just search for the Fit Pro podcast and add us there. I will leave a link in the description below. Anyway, another app that I use is Pocket Cast. It is a paid app, but it just is a little bit more functionality. You can also shorten like episodes, so there's spaces in between words, etc. You can speed it up, you can slow it down. It's just a better experience on my behalf anyway. But I'll leave a link in the description below. Let's get into the show, guys. If you haven't already, make sure you head to Twitter and follow the Fit Pro podcast at Fit Pro Podcast, and enjoy this interview with Kelly Yu. I'll speak to you at the end.
That's it, and you definitely have to learn. But where you are now is not where you will be in 5 years' time. Where do you feel like you will be with this, with your project, with Kelly Yu Fit? Where will Kelly Yu Fit be in 5 years' time?
I think that she will be even more confident and comfortable with herself, and she'll probably have traveled a lot more and put herself first even a lot more, and gone for things that she couldn't have ever dreamed about trying, because I'm a perfectionist type of person, which isn't in the positive way. It's like, if something is too intimidating, I may think if I don't succeed, I shouldn't try. Or I try too hard and then just, burn myself out. And I think in 5 years, regardless of the tangible things I'm doing, I just won't have the mindsets that hold me back from my potential. Also, I don't push myself too far. I really think I'll know how to prioritize myself much better even than today.
Wild card question: where would you like to travel?
Oh, I want to go to Hong Kong. I want to go back to Japan. I think I'm actually going to go in the spring, and I might just fly out by myself, which is something that I would have never done before. Yeah. So that kind of shows you, I used to not like spending money. I used to be really introverted and closed off and not want to travel much because of my struggles with food and body. And now it's like I just really want to breathe and live my life. Yeah, basically that's all I'm going for.
No, but I truly think, again, one of the things you said about traveling and getting out there, it is something that everybody needs to do. I feel it's a massive journey of self-discovery, and only once I traveled did I then realize how many other ways there are to do things out there, and how other people live, and how I can make a living.
Yes.
Originally, my family's from South Africa, so we've come from South Africa. We now live in Australia. Now, the first time I traveled by myself, without my family, would have been about 5 years ago. So around the same age that you are now.
Okay.
I jumped on a cruise ship and was working as a personal trainer on a cruise ship, and I did that for about just under a year.
I'm actually looking at your Twitter page right now, and I was scrolling. Is this the cruise ship industry opened my eyes to the world and pushed me out my comfort zone? Is this what you're talking about?
Yeah.
The timing is impeccable.
I did not even know that. Is that the FitPro podcast Twitter page?
Yes. No, it's the Marv Inspire. It's yours, Marv _ Inspire.
You know what? Yeah, I haven't even posted on that in a long time.
Oh, okay. Because I just Googled your name while we were talking and just like looking.
Yeah. There should be a lot of stuff on there. But yeah, it really did open my eyes because I got to travel. I got to meet so many different people. I never wanted to go back to doing things the normal way. And since I've come off, came off the cruise ship years ago now, I have not been able to assimilate back into normal society. Like I've always, it sort of turned me into a dreamer, but it also turned me into somebody that aspires to be so much more, and hence something like the podcast I would never have thought of doing 5 years ago.
That is incredible, and I am so proud of you. That's just amazing because it's you seeking your fulfillment, and that's it. Like, regardless of whatever the response may have even been, I think you would still be doing it because you found that there's so much more to life than whatever cookie cutter thing that you may have done otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually a mechanic. I was a heavy-duty mechanic. I did my apprenticeship in that and became a heavy-duty mechanic, and then went to night school and became a personal trainer. And then did that, and my first job as a personal trainer was on that cruise ship. And I sort of had to just drop everything and go, basically just jump on a plane and fly to London and go. I spoke about this in depth in a previous podcast, but go to London and literally just abandon everything for three weeks and learn a completely new way of being. I was the shyest person. I couldn't speak. I couldn't speak. Self-confidence wise, self-love, there was none of that. Like I had, I would say low self-esteem at that point in time, but after 3 weeks of this extreme conditioning and just completely out of my comfort zone, I went from an introvert to an extrovert, and I feel I always felt like an extrovert stuck in the introvert's body.
Definitely.
So it definitely does change you, those experiences, and I definitely encourage people to get out there and have those experiences. So that's why I ask about traveling, because I really love it, and I'm going to do more of it. And when the podcast takes off, it's something I can do from anywhere in the world. So that's where the flexibility and the dreaming comes from.
That is the best. Wow.
What are some of your dreams, Kelly?
Well, just to add to what you said about traveling, and also this totally ties in with social media and finding more self. Tomorrow I'm actually flying out to Toronto to meet up with 3 of my best girlfriends, and I all met them through Instagram.
Oh, nice.
Yes, and that's also something I probably would have never done before, like planning a trip with people you barely know. I mean, obviously, with technology now, we can talk and FaceTime and do all those things, so I really do know them, but that's the type of thing that this person who was super, intense about money and not flexible and didn't know how to be super independent in that way to go out and do that. But my dreams, okay, let's see. I really align with a lot of what you said. My dreams are maybe tapping into those types of professions or lifestyles that you always dreamed of having, but you don't think it's feasible because it's quite unconventional. And even my research job is one of the most unconventional jobs ever. What I do is I basically drive all day, every day, because I go to the homes of my participants and I get to meet different people every single day and interact with different babies and their moms and see different homes and people of all different walks of life. And I think to myself, imagine if I was just doing a 9-to-5 desk job. That would be really different for me. I mean, who drives around all day and gets to listen to podcasts and music in their car and then goes to meet really different people and have fun conversations all day? And then, publish papers, academic papers that help people in the future, and then also having this social media thing. I think my dream is to probably go further into research, and the one thing that I would hope to do in my future is to create my own thesis and my own project, my own research study on eating disorder development in childhood. And I'm not exactly sure what the specific things I'd be looking for, but I started thinking about that this year when I realized I have a lot of academic research experience in my belt, and that would really be full circle.
Yeah, for sure. And one thing I always hear from people out there that are in a job that they is not ideal, but they want to get out of it, and they want to try something different. They want to try and start a big Instagram page or a social following or a business of some sort. How do you find time for all your social stuff?
It's interesting because I think that it's become so integrated in my life that you don't even really notice that you're doing it, because you'll like always check your, Instagram or things like that. Even if you don't think you are, you are doing it. But I do have to set aside time to film and edit, and I do think about that throughout my week, because sometimes I'll work crazy 12-hour days, and a lot of really, really successful YouTubers and such, that is their main thing. So they have more time, and they also put much more effort into it. And so that's why they have such a great following. For me, I just think to myself, though, I will not put any content out there unless I'm feeling like it's genuine and coming from me, because I think you can tell.
Yeah, 100%.
And like the last video that I did, it was called, public service announcement, your fat is not your enemy. And I was not even planning on filming that. I was actually just on my deck doing yoga, and I was like, oh, that'll be a fun video, because, all my videos are pretty heavy topics, and the people who watch them are the ones who are willing and ready to hear it. And that's the audience that I do want. But, in social media, a lot of it that catches people's eyes are entertainment. So I was like, okay, yoga and rest day, that's a great topic. And I was like, you know what? I'm not feeling like that's me. So I started thinking, and I was like, I just want to show people that I have stomach fat. I'm totally fine with grabbing rolls and talking about how it doesn't matter in front of this camera for 6 minutes and giving it to them.
And how you had 4 rest days in a row.
Yes, and actually it turned into 5. And then, so those types of things I'll put on social media, because, that's just the stuff that people can relate to. It's not even entertaining. It's not even what people want to hear. It's what they need to hear.
Yeah, it's the truth. People like to see the glamorous sides of things. They like to see this fake reality. And we've all done, even the most successful people on YouTube, they make you see what they want you to see, basically. Yes. It's just media at the end of the day. The people that are 100% transparent aren't super successful, because it's not the glamorous side of things. And unless they get that audience that wants to see that, it's just not real what you see on a lot of media nowadays. And it's refreshing again to see a real approach to things, because hell, I've had weeks off from the gym. And then I'll go and then I'll do my thing, and I'll get back into it. And we go through our phases. We're like the tides, basically. It'll go out and it'll come back in, and we're only human at the end of the day. And I feel like the human element, especially when people are watching you or people are listening to you, it's almost a forgotten art of being 100% human, 100% transparent, and then just going, this is me, this is who I am. Now, when it comes to your social, and have you thought about starting a website or creating content, becoming a blogger, something like that, making it sort of a full-time job, or are you happy with it being 2 separate things, your day job and your part-time thing?
I think I really do value, I hate using this term, but it always seems to fit best for me, having a real life. And to me, I think there's always been an element of wanting to be that. I think everyone, when they're a kid, thinks of being famous, and that's kind of like the dream. Even for a second, it's very fun, right? I'm not saying I am at all, but just I know as a kid we all dreamed about that. But then there's this portion that I really value, my privacy and being able to just do my own thing and have my own identity that doesn't depend on the acceptance from everybody else. And if I'm able to have a job that is not judged via social media, and relationships that have no presence on social media, I feel like that is my happy place that I can retreat to, that's just mine. And social media, to me, is the most loving, beautiful community, but it's also you putting yourself out there in ways that you cannot control. And I don't think that me as a person, I would want to try to handle that.
Okay, and that's 100% fair enough, because, at the end of the day, people out there aren't, again, they aren't very accepting of things that challenge them.
No.
And what you do is definitely challenging, can be challenging for some people, for sure. But again, it's stuff that people need to hear. These are the real things that are happening. Now, we've basically, it's almost been 40 minutes.
Oh.
Time flies when you're having fun.
This is true.
But it's one thing with this podcast that I found is generally the interviews do go quite long, because we're just being real, we're just talking. This is, if we were talking on the phone, this is the sort of things that we'd be talking about. And I love that. And when it comes to you as a person and what you do, is there a main message behind everything that you do? And if you had to say a few words to the people out there that are having body negativity issues, they're not loving themselves, they've got eating disorders, what are some what are some words of wisdom from you?
I've learned that in my life, whatever struggle that I was having externally, like if it was with my body or with food or relationships with other people, the only answers you can possibly find are not out there. They're only within yourself, and it's okay if you're not ready to confront them, but try getting yourself ready, because if you don't look inside yourself and find your own value and love and figure out why you feel this way or why you have these behaviors or why these things are going on, it's never your fault, but you have control and you have accountability and responsibility to yourself, and you're worth the investment. You're so worthy of love and acceptance, and not from everyone else, from you. And I think it really confuses people, because it confused me for so long. How the heck do I love myself? And you have to stop looking everywhere else, and you have to look at yourself, and that's the scariest thing. Having to look at myself was the thing I never wanted to do, but once I was ready, it happened, and I dug so deep and found all these inner struggles that I didn't even know were there, and I started healing. And when you're ready, you'll be ready. But if you're not ready, don't judge yourself, don't shame yourself, just give yourself patience.
Patience is key. And Kelly, we've had a great conversation today, but I feel like the listeners would like to continue to speak to you after this podcast. How can they find you on social, and what's the best way to contact you?
Well, you guys can follow me, and my Instagram is KellyUFit, Kelly, the letter U, Fit. I also have a YouTube. You can search Kelly UFit also on there. And if you ever want to talk to me directly, you can email me at kellyufit@gmail.com. And please feel free to reach out. I love hearing from anyone and everyone, and it's also fun for me to be able to share more advice and wisdom, because I need it too.
Perfect, man. We can all learn from everybody. So,
yes.
It's been really great talking to you today, Kelly. It's nice to speak to real humans. I love it.
Thank you. Me too. It's been so great talking to you, and I really love you saying, human to human, and we need to treat each other like humans. And I think, wow, wouldn't the world be such a beautiful place if we just were like, oh yes, you're another human who needs love and acceptance, so let's be nice.
You're another human that I like. You can stay.
Exactly.
I feel like you need to start your own podcast, because I feel like, again, your voice on a podcast talking about the issues that you talk about could be a real big tool for you and for people out there. So
thank you. And actually, I have been thinking about it. I really have, and maybe I will email you separately to ask you for advice on this.
Yeah, for sure. Do it. My advice on anybody out there that are thinking about doing a podcast is do what I did. Just jump out of the plane and build a parachute on the way down.
Boom.
Boom. That is a major key alert. But just email me later if you want to know a little bit more, Kelly. But
I will.
I think we've had a great time today. We need to do this again, and I've been doing this for a while, but I still don't know how to end these damn podcasts.
Well, hey, hey, let me practice my podcast skills.
Okay, you end it.
Well, thank you guys so much for listening. Once again, you can find me at Kelly You Fit and contact me whenever. Marvin has a great podcast, and he has a great voice. I'm sure you guys know this already since you're listening to it. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your day/night, depending on where you are.
What an amazing interview with Kelly Yu. We'll definitely have to get her on again. If you like what you heard and you want to hear more from Kelly, her links to her social are below in the show notes. As always, this is the Fit Pro Podcast, and if you have not, make sure you subscribe to us on iTunes, Podcast Addict, Pocket Cast, whatever app you use, so that you can stay up to date. Follow me on Twitter at FitProPodcast, as well as Facebook, facebook.com/FitProPod. All of the links are in the description below. Let me know if you like the podcast by heading to iTunes and leaving a 5-star review. And that is all we have time for today, listeners. And I will catch you on the next one. Peace.